What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to Your Ex-Drinking Buddy. My name is Brennan Tassif. I'll be your host. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Check out the merch store at brennantcomedy.com/merch-store. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. We'll put the shorts up there, the full video, the whole thing. Thank you so much for listening. I love it. I hope you love it. Subscribe on Patreon, too. We do bonus episodes. I do Tales from the Restaurant, where I talk about celebrities I've waited on and whether they're assholes or not, which is super fun. Also, we do a pre-show banter for my other show, Cheers from the Press Box with Joe Dorville. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff going on over there, too. Make sure you just subscribe everywhere, just all over the place. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're not leaving the mean comments, thank you for that. Maybe leave a couple nice ones.
Grab me a beer and grab him a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy stories. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with somebody and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by guests. This week is no exception. The pride of Nebraska, now in New York City, Dezmend Lee.
Picturing Madison Square Garden, go.
What's up, Omaha?
What's up, Pam? How we living?
You know,
Yeah.
just chilling.
I feel like we've gotten a lot closer since the last time I was here.
We have, baby.
What
We
kind of
have,
boys?
dog.
What kind of boys?
What's up?
I don't know. I mean,
Plug
you guys.
everything up front. Let everybody know your social media. You have a brand new show coming out, which has been the talk of the town here in the apartment.
So name is Dezmend Lee Drumgold. You can find me on Instagram.
Is the Drumble thing always been a thing?
No,
You've always gone by Dezmend Lee.
I've always gone by Dezmend Lee.
You changed your name in my phone. You did the whole thing.
Dude, I've been going kind of crazy with the name changes. This is the last one because it is my full name.
Okay.
Dezmend Lee Drumgold. That's my full name. I feel like it's like a Samuel L. Jackson kind of move where I'm like, I just want to go by the full thing. Hosts hate it. I'll tell you that. But
because it was Dez, then Dezmend Lee.
It was Lee first.
Okay.
And then it was Dez, and then it's
Dezmend
been
Lee, and now it's Dezmend Lee Drumgold.
I hope to God this is my last time explaining this on any sort of platform to where like, okay, this is like the first like, okay, you're getting your feet wet, and then it's like, okay, now no more name changes, and you just like.
Well, because eventually you have to stick to it.
Yeah, you have to continue just being bad at comedy for the next.
Under the guise of.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. So like a lot of people are always like, when you get like you have the show coming up, which we're going to talk about because I'm excited about this. It's a very innovative thing. For those of you who don't know Dez, go back and listen to his first episode. We talked about him being a chef. Coming up in your family, it was your aunt or your grandmother got you really into cooking. Grandmother got you really into cooking.
Grandmama.
You moved to New York to work at a Michelin star restaurant and just getting boat raced by these kids, and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Yeah. Just dreams dashed in the wind.
Sweaty dudes.
You talked about that night. I still think about that to this day. You talked about, God, this must have been a year ago when you came on. You talked about some 19-year-old kid just running circles around you.
Shout out Jason. I can't say your last name. I forgot. It's like Mintague or something. I don't know. He's a shitty white dude from Long Island, but he is very good at cooking. He is very funny. He's a funny, shitty guy. Okay. I love him a lot. I think he's working in Chicago now. But either way,
that's just what got you out of the
That's
game.
just the guy. He's the 19-year-old. He's probably like 22 now.
Yeah.
Maybe 21, 22.
Maybe. But it was an interesting thing. So go back and listen to Dez's first episode. You have a couple new stories. One of them just happened over the July 4th holiday, which was a couple of months ago. Happy Independence Day, which we're going to get into. But you have your social media, which is I honestly couldn't find you. And I think we talked about this on your last episode. The first couple times we met, we would have a good time at the mics and stuff. Uh-huh. And I remember trying to find you on social media to ask you to come on the pod, and I just couldn't find you.
It's because my name is spelled weird. So I've tried to alleviate this as much as I can. It is now at Dezzy the artist, DEZY _the artist.
Artist, underscore artist, not underscore the artist.
Not underscore the artist. Just Dezzy the artist, DEZY, Dezzy. People call me whatever you want. call me whatever you want.
Just call me funny.
Just please laugh at my jokes sometimes. When you can tell I've
What are
been
we
working
doing
real
here?
hard.
What are we doing here? You guys do this? You guys do this?
Yeah.
You're one of my favorite people when you're on stage because you get so vulnerable when you're like, nah. And I don't know if you're doing a bit or if it's part of the thing, but you're always just like, huh? What? Oh, we talked about this last time and you got real weird about it, but I just love when you
Like
go
what?
like when you have a sex joke, you'll be like, we fucking? Huh? We fucking in here? Everybody fucking? But you say it in such like a sweet way. We're like,
oh, okay.
we
Yeah.
fucking?
Someone
Huh?
has told me this.
I've told you this like 10 times.
A lot of people have told me this rather. Sorry. You being one of them. I'm still trying to figure out my voice and how I'm perceived on stage and everything, but everyone tells me I'm like pretty chill.
Yeah.
I guess I think I am, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to like turn up the volume and like I'm still trying to figure out my cadence and like.
Well, it is. I was gonna say that your cadence that you have is very you, in the sense that just talking to you now, I can hear it, and then when you're on stage, where it's kind of like the, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
I feel like I'd really try and think about what people are saying. I do my best. Sometimes I get lost in like my own thoughts when people are talking, but I don't know. So whenever I'm having a conversation and I'm like slow pauses, I'm like thinking about what you just said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and that's good. You don't want to just listen. You want to listen.
Yeah. You don't want to hear. You just want to listen.
There you go.
Or the other way around.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Yes. Don't be sorry. Be better, dude. That's if I ever had to get like maybe that might be like the name of my first special or something.
Yeah, that should be the name of your first special.
But that is.
I don't know if we talked about this on the last episode that you were on, but for those of you listening, Des worked in kitchens for so long and had like interactions with chefs. And I don't know, maybe dads say it or something, but that's something I've always heard from chefs, which don't be sorry, be better.
Yeah.
And every time at the mic or shows or something, if someone calls out and then you call them out on heckling, immediately people's normal first reaction is to be like, my bad, or I'm sorry. And you just, without even hesitating, always go, don't be sorry, be better.
I literally,
And the first time I heard that, I remember immediately just in the audience going, yes, chef.
Yeah. It's like such a, one, it is kind of programmed in where it is kind of just like a jerk response.
Yeah.
But it is like my favorite thing to do at a show because people don't realize it's going to happen. So it always crushes because like you can't really I can plan it on my end when I know in my head when someone says sorry, I have this thing to say.
Yeah.
That will make people laugh or get a reaction. And so to me, I love the chance to get to do it. And I got to do it the other night at this show where like, this lady just heckled me and she was like sorry and I just let her. And it was like, and then I have like a tagline on it now where it's like, well, the best apology is really just change behavior. Yeah.
Well, because we talk about that in the super secret program I'm in all the time. It's like the super secret program I'm in. I'd tell you about it, but it's anonymous.
I don't like that.
It's AA.
I don't like secret. Brennan, I'll tell you right now, I don't like secrets. I'll tell you right now, I don't like secrets. Oh, what is this, society? Are you sacrificing goats? What are you doing?
No, just it's my it's AA, dude.
Okay, that's funny.
Right over your head.
That's
a great joke.
Way over my head, dude.
You were like,
dude, no way. I was like, is he in the Illuminati this whole time, dude? You think you'd tell me, dude?
We're friends.
Don't invite me over if you're gonna do shit like that.
No, dude, I'm talking about. But we say all the time where it's like if you have to keep apologizing for the same thing, then it's a you thing. Like you need to change your behavior.
Of course, yeah.
So it is so funny how all that stuff intersects where it's like not even like just with that, but then also like dealing in kitchens most of our lives. It's always like you're always around chefs who are like, stop apologizing. Just be fucking better.
That's all that it really is like, because the sorry is like an excuse almost of like, I'm sorry I did this, especially if you do it again and again, which I look back at my cooking career now of like, I was actually always kind of like a medium shitty cook. Like I could bang with the, like if someone taught me something and showed me how to do something, I could replicate that. And then maybe like I found some creative juice somewhere in there. But I guess I would say I have the bare bones of creation where I do like mixing different things.
Yeah.
But as far as kind of mistakes, dude, I'll never forget
talk about it.
Dude, I'll never ever forget this, dude. There was one service where I burnt. I mean, dude, I can't even tell you how many rolls in a service. Like I burnt. Like,
what do you mean? Like you put in like a rack of like 20 rolls, or
yeah,
like
yeah,
you burnt like one at a time?
I am skipping a lot of details in the story. So I was on the entremet station, which is veg. So I was in charge of all of the.
This is in New York?
This is in Omaha.
Okay.
But this is at like a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah,
in
you
Omaha.
talked about that last time. Before you moved to New York, you were working at a pretty nice place in Omaha.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like, I mean, it's no longer around, but it was like, I would say like James Beard worthy. They got nominated a few times.
That's
like
awesome, dude.
White tablecloth, like very nice place.
You got the whole chef's uniform on. You got
course.
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you say of course, but I worked it out back when people would just show up in
True.
like jeans and a tee. And
Oh,
you're like,
okay,
all right.
yeah, yeah.
It's not since I when I started working in prime steakhouses and like chefs came in and everyone had a chef's coat and you addressed everyone as yes chef, no chef,
course.
no excuses chef.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was finally like, oh, this is what restaurants are supposed to be.
Yeah.
But before it was like Outback, where like literally people would come in like pajama
Some
bottoms
grease
and
dog,
a t-shirt.
dude. Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, that's disgusting.
Some grimy fucking dude with like just
always
you know,
having sex with the hottest
stains.
hostess.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah,
what
dude.
is happening?
He has the best blow, dude. That's all it is.
That's what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
man. So you're at the restaurant.
So okay.
How long have you been there? Had you like made a name? Like this is what I'm doing, or?
As far as cooking was concerned,
Yeah.
I was like, I knew I wanted to be a chef, so I was like working towards that. I was just like a cook at this restaurant.
Yeah.
But I did have a chef. He was a great chef, very very knowledgeable dude. But very patient as well. So
I was just about to ask that because there's
the-
two types of chefs. There's the ones where it's perfectionists and it's everyone else's fault and you guys are fucking idiots. And then there's the ones who want to teach, who like are like, oh, I want to impart this knowledge on you, and I know you're going to make mistakes, but we'll work
Yes.
together.
And looking back, he was totally that. I was just like,
You can push people far enough to where they'll snap. But
yeah. I mean, I was so arrogant and just, I mean, and I say was as if I'm not like. I'm still the same I mean, I'm like the same person, but now it's like okay because I do comedy. Because I make you giggle,
shit.
I get to be dumb. I get to be arrogant and dumb.
I get to be dumb. I almost forgot. I got you my notepad.
Oh, okay, word.
Because you're gonna say something that's gonna be the title of the episode, and then I won't remember, and then I'll have to go back and re-listen to the whole thing.
Got it.
I make Dum Dum is probably the front runner now. I make Dum Dum.
I make dumb. So okay. So I worked at this restaurant. Very patient chef named Chase Grove. Shout out to this guy.
Shout out Chase Grove if you're
Shout out
out
Chase
there.
Grove. Shout out Terrell Brown. Shout out I don't know, Mac. I can't remember your last name, but you were a good
chef.
cook. But okay, so this place, we I was on the entremet station. It was veg, and so my job was they would the baker would come in every day. The pastry chef would come in and make rolls for service. So they make like these individual rolls.
Homemade individual rolls.
Yeah,
Love it.
and let's say they make like, I want to say they made like maybe 150 in a batch.
Yeah.
So they would make that for service on a busy night, right? And so my job was to when tables came in, we fired it immediately so that when they sat down, they got comfortable. Bread service comes right out.
Yeah.
So there was one service in particular where, and mind you, they're passing this throughout the kitchen. So it's a very small kitchen. It's like 3 rows, right? There's front row where the servers and stuff walk, and the chef's passes, and then there's
Saute and broil.
Saute and broil, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm back here. There's 2 lanes, and so they have to pass it from where the servers are at across one lane, and then the garde-manger or like cold plates person
Salad.
passes me.
Yeah.
Cold plates, salad, soups, or like cold soups, whatever. Has to pass me the rolls to the oven, which is where I'm at on the hotline. And so there was one service in particular where they would pass me, let's say, on a busy night, 15 per sheet tray. I proceeded to burn consecutively probably 4 sheet trays.
Oh my god! That's 60. That's half the inventory.
Yeah. I would say probably at least 60 back to back. I'm busy.
Back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I'm talking like they handed me the first one, and then I don't remember giving a not burnt one.
Oh my god!
Mind you, I have a timer on my station. I'm just getting my dick kicked in on the station. I'm probably.
So the timer's going off. You're like, I'll be right there.
Yes.
Because I can feel this, and some of the listeners might be able to feel this because we have a lot of people who are in the service industry and stuff like that. And some of you who don't understand this, it's like if you've ever seen The Bear and you think like, oh, I kind of know what it feels like to work in a restaurant because of that anxiety-inducing sense that The Bear provides, that is correct. But that's only like a portion. It's only a small percentage of what we will feel on a nightly basis.
Yeah, yeah.
There are so often times where I'm like, this is my nightmare. Like I literally have nightmares that I get like quadruple sat and my feet don't move and I can't get to my tables.
Brutal.
Or I will wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I forgot the ketchup.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard the ticket printer.
Yeah.
At night, dude. You're just like,
Chef has at our restaurant, Chef Marco, shout out Chef. Chef has like a label maker. They gave him a label maker and he just went kind of crazy with it. So on all the printers in the kitchen, it says, this is the stuff of nightmares.
sick.
He literally put that on a label and put it on all the printers.
Dude, that's what I really miss is like having those little like things throughout the kitchen that are just like make it home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a common one is just like green tape on the pass, push.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude,
there you go.
push,
Every
or
second
like
counts.
make it nice. There's like
a big one that we have is we have the logo of the restaurant, and then in front of it in like cool like 20s font, it says "Make it so."
Oh, okay.
Which is like a pull from Star Trek, but that's what Chef Marco says it all the like. Yeah, just make it so.
That's so sick.
And it's one of those things though where it's like it gets so ingrained in you where you're just like when someone then asks you a question, you're like, when I worked for First Watch, which isn't nearly the level of restaurant we're talking about, but still it was like a pretty nice brunch place. But they always said you first, so it became so ingrained in you that like whether it was guests or another server or the manager, whenever anything would happen, like, you first. So like if you get to the drink station together, you first. And then it became a weird thing where they're like, no, you first. And then, but it just is that thing where it's like it becomes a part of you.
Interesting.
So
I've never even thought about it in that way of like lingo. I was just more saying like the visual, like I'll never forget, dude, the first real restaurant I worked at, shout out Dante Ristorante, I guess. It's Dante in Omaha, Nebraska. It's a wood-fired pizza place. It's been there for like 15 years now. It's a sick restaurant. But they had in military font on the walk-in sense of urgency.
There you go.
And
That's
it was like, fucking, dude, like but it is so weird because like I feel like that's the one kitchen where I learned like, dude, you gotta move your fucking
We gotta
ass,
go,
dude. Like I remember my brother got hired as a dishwasher for like a fucking like maybe week and a half. Dude, he could not hang. But I mean, shout out to I love my brother, but this is a long time ago. But
it's also a different thing.
It's
I
a
know
different
people
thing,
who make a
dude.
ton of money doing finance, and they see what I do, and they go, "I couldn't
No
do
way,
it in a million years."
He was like a construction guy, so those dudes like are very like
so chill.
Yes, they're like, dude.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yes,
I'm on another
exactly.
break right now, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, is it meth o'clock there? I don't know we're doing this right now.
We have a thing too because some of the people that Chef hires on the cold pass just don't. And I freak out because it is just at the end of the day, it's just food. It's just dinner. It's not. Yeah. I'm not saving lives. I'm not. I mean, I have saved lives. People have been choking, and I've saved them. But
really?
that's beside the point.
I mean, small flex there.
Yeah, but
it's not. Throw that out for the children.
I'm not doing brain surgery or anything, but it is one of those things where I am. You know me. I'm like, this has got to be perfect, or else. It's not at all. Like there's a great line in that movie Burnt with Bradley Cooper. And that's another thing I found. When movies and television shows would come out about high level restaurants, I'd be like, bullshit. Or I'd be like, this is it. This caught it. This is the thing. But in the movie, he goes, if it's perfect, you throw it away. Yeah. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the time is. If it's perfect, you throw it away. But you also still have to have that sense of urgency to be like, yeah, but we still need to get this out quickly, but it needs to be perfect. So there are some nights where,
or you're saying if it's not perfect, you throw it away.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah. And there's some nights where you'll get to like 10 o'clock. We've got like maybe 12 open menus, and there'll be 5 people on cold side. 4 of them are like breaking stuff down and cleaning up, but we're still open for another hour.
Yeah.
And one of them is making the tickets. But you have 12 open menus. It's like 3-4 tops.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden tickets start coming back and the other 4 people are still cleaning. Dude, I'll go in the kitchen and I will start to lose my shit.
Yeah.
To your point about sense of urgency where I'll be like,
just because
stop wiping the fucking fridge and make the salad.
Yeah. You're like, just because it's we're almost out of here doesn't mean that
we're out of here. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the guests fall after that.
Exactly. And I say it all the time. The guests that come in at 4 o'clock while you guys are still finishing your prep, and the guests that come in at 10:30, even if I get pissed that they're coming in late, they deserve the same quality of service, the same quality of food as the guest that comes in at 5:45.
Of course, yeah.
And but it is one of those things where at the end of the day, and I'm sure you felt this before, but at the end of the day, you look back and you go, I'm just making rolls. Like,
yeah.
There's no reason.
And this is another part of that story. I burnt the rolls, dude. And I can't even tell you. It is crazy now looking back at it, because I'm completely the opposite. Maybe this is why I am so chill now, is because, dude, when that happened, I'm telling you, I cried for sure. And then
like on your station?
Maybe not on my station, but after
you go to the
fact,
walk-in and yeah.
No, there was no walk-in, but I went to this like back hallway and just like that smelled like shit, and just sat on the stairs and just like cried a little bit. And then I remember the guy I was working next to on the meat roast station, Kevin Newland.
Shout out Kevin.
Shout out Kevin Newland. I'm gonna tag him when this episode comes out. He's like, dude, I'll never forget this guy, man. He was like probably at the time, I'm like 19, 18. He's probably 52, 53. He was just like a dude. He worked at like a corporate place, a corporate kitchen, where he made like, at this time, probably like $80,000, like a pretty.
That's
hefty,
good in Omaha, Nebraska.
Especially in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. And so
that's good here.
Yeah, so he made like $80,000, but then just worked at this restaurant on weekends because he wanted the rush of working service.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sick fuck, dude.
That's a psychopath.
Yeah, yeah. This dude, Kevin Newland, dude. And he was like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, bro. Dude, Kevin Newland, bro. I haven't talked about this guy forever, bro. But he'd be like, I would talk shit to him, right? Okay, I'll finish the story, but I do want to talk about him a little bit. When that happened, when I burned those rolls, I was like, man, I'm done. I was like, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks. Like, I'm done. Like,
I've been
just
there.
crying. And then he's like, hey, dumbass, did you burn any steaks tonight? I was like, no. He's like, you burnt $15 worth of bread. You're gonna be all right, dude. Suck it the fuck up, dude. He was like, literally, like, stop being a fucking bitch, bro. Like, it was so like. Oh my God.
You need those people though. It's the same.
Yes.
The thing I love about the restaurant the most is the camaraderie that you have, because it's very similar to like a locker room in the sense that it's like we're all going through this shit together. And again, it is one of those things where people listening who work at an office or like work in a cubicle or like, you guys are out of your fucking mind. Like, you're not doing anything. But you also have to remember the people who come into the restaurants that you worked at and that I currently work at come in to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and huge milestones and weddings and things that in their life seem like the most important thing at the time.
Yes.
So you have to think of it from the lens of that, where it's like, yeah, I understand what I'm doing is just serving food and it's not that big of a deal in the grand landscape of things. But for the people listening who are like, you're like a waiter, you're a cook, like who cares? You have to think of it in this sense. If you were celebrating just getting engaged or your 10th wedding anniversary and you went somewhere and they fucked it up, you would be livid.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to think of it through the guise of that, where it's like, imagine if everything you did in your data entry job was the biggest like sale of that company's career.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this is a huge deal. Like, you got to make it perfect.
You got to at least care about it.
Yeah. And your very next one, they're like, this is a huge sale. You got to make it perfect. Like, if that was your life every day for every table, you'd be like, this is a lot.
Yeah. And
so I've been there. There are so many times where in real life, again, back to this is my nightmare, like where I'll get like triple sat and it'll be like a 10 top and 8 top, but like just something happened up front where they, a table showed up 20 minutes early, another table showed up 15 minutes late, and people are like, no, we want to be sat now. Because, they try to deter all that. Like up front, they'll be like, well, your reservation's at 6:30, give us to 6:30. And sometimes people are like, no, we want to go now.
Yeah.
And then you get into a point where I've literally looked up and been like, I guess I'm just clocking out and leaving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look at the restaurant and you go, yeah, with my resume, I could get a job on my way home. Like,
you're like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I don't need this
but
shit.
Then you do
but
it.
Then you do it. And it's like that rush of like, the cool thing is, to your point, I'm sure you have plenty of these stories, is when you are getting your dick kicked in, but everything is like coming out. And you're like, let's go. It's the same thing on stage.
Yeah.
Where like your first joke hits and you're like, oh, I fucking got you.
When you know you got it.
Yeah.
When you know you got it. And I think that is the same thing. It's all okay. This is something I didn't realize until the very end of my cooking career, and I kind of wish I understood more. The prep is the part that matters the most.
Yep.
The service doesn't matter as much. Not to say that they're not both important. They're both, but the way that you prepare for battle is gonna be how you fight.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you're not prepared for battle, you're going to get your dick kicked in, and it's going to feel like you're getting your dick kicked in.
Even if you're not. There's so
not.
many times where I go, we are not busy enough for this to be happening.
Yes.
Because everyone under preps. We have a bartender that does it where he'll be like, oh, we only have 30 covers on the books. I'm only going to I'm only going to prep like a third of the stuff we need.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, where are the fucking olives? And he's like, oh, I have to get them out of the back. And it's like, this ticket's already on 7 minutes. Like, and for those of you listening, 7 minutes, you might be like, oh, no big deal. You go to a restaurant, order a drink, and wait 12 minutes for it to get to your table.
Yeah,
You'll be like, this is a big fucking deal, man.
Yeah, that 7 minutes does not go by quickly.
No, it's like, but see, and that's the other thing too, is like, that's the reason I think I love the industry so much, is whether it's front of house or back of house, it's very much like how the same feeling I got when I played sports, where it's like, I worked my ass off this whole week for this game. And it's the same thing. Like, I studied the menus. Like, I know everything. I go in. I always press my uniform right before service. I make sure I look good. Because if you look good, you play good, as Deion Sanders once said. And I'm like, I'm fucking ready to go.
I like how you slid that in there.
Yeah. But it is one of those things. There'll be some nights where I'll literally, like, do the fucking swing. And, like I'm hitting it out of the park. And I'll turn to my manager and be like, I'm so fucking good at this, dude.
Yeah.
And you,
yeah.
like, walk with that swagger.
It's such a...
Then there are other nights where it's like one thing goes, it's quicksand. One thing goes wrong, and then because of that one thing, you get a recook on another table, and then all of a sudden I can't greet this table and then I'm like, I think I'm quitting.
Yeah. It's so interesting, dude. I haven't talked about this like life for a while.
Yeah.
But it is like, because now I'm so far removed, man, where I don't know, talking to people, like, I really need to call some of my old cooking buddies back home, but just like, I texted a few of them the other day and just like kind of reconnected with some folks that are, and it's crazy, the dudes that I was working in the kitchen with after that place I just talked about are all working in the same kitchen again together now.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's
dude.
like probably like, I don't know, fucking 8 years later.
And everyone just got back together?
Yeah, it's like the boys are back, but I'm like some dudes I have like a matching tattoo with for sure. Like a fucking, like, it's crazy. I have a tattoo of like a panda doing a dab, like on my like
yeah.
Yeah. And mine has like a green bandana. The guy I was just talking about has a blue one.
Dude, that's sick.
It's like a fucking, it's like, it really is like a brotherhood, bro.
Yeah.
And then,
because you go through that shit together. Whereas again, and I'm not trying to belittle what other people do, but like I see this with Tracy because she's a teacher and my beautiful fiance, and she
congratulations,
thank
by the way.
you.
Shout out Tracy, dude.
Bang,
She got the
bang.
rock. Come on now. Unstoppable.
Born to Q4. But it is that same kind of thing where it's like you're dealing with high pressure situations with, obviously kids, and they all have different needs. So you do build like this solidified bond, which I'm sure it's the same in like offices and stuff, but it's not I don't think it's nearly as like high pressure. And I can't generalize, and I think in a lot of situations it's just kind of like, yeah, my job is this, and it's really hard, and I have a team of like 3 people, but that's it. Whereas in a restaurant, it's like we're all trying to get the same thing done. Just like with teaching, you're all trying to get the kids going. Just like with sports, you're all trying to win the game. And with comedy, it is a very solo sport because you're up there by yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like and
it's almost like fun to see your friend bomb a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And,
you're like, that didn't go so well.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where it is like, all the comics in the back, we all want it to be a good show.
True.
So it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, if one person goes up and crushes, and then I go up and crush, and then you go up and crush, we're like, dude, we're fucking doing it.
We're all doing it. Yeah,
we're doing it. And it is weird, too, because sometimes, to your point, like, I've been at shows where it's like someone I don't know really well. So someone will go up and do well, and then they'll go up and, like, bomb. And then in the back, because we're not close enough to where I can say anything, I'm just kind of like, yeah, man, good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
I had one of those last night, dude. It was like, I'm not gonna name names, but it was like a hard open for the show. It was like a kind of like, all right.
Well, you saw me when I had one of those.
When was that?
I went up first at the thing at New York, and it was that
the
night,
Comedy Mob.
Yeah. No, not the Comedy Mob. The other one.
Yes, yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was like you were working.
Yes.
You and I were chopping it up. We're having a great time. And then they're like, oh, Brennan, you're going to go up first. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
No big deal. Like, I take bullet all the time. And then the host went up, cool dude, but just like talked to the audience the whole time and did like one joke.
Yeah.
So I went up basically to a cold room.
Of like not primed for like comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then people are like, still coming in and stuff,
Ordering
and
drinks, I'm sure.
And dude,
Yeah.
that was definitely one of those situations where I went to leave, and the person who put the show together was like, "Oh, how was it?" And I was like, "Fucking awesome." And then I turned to you, and I was like, "Not awesome."
You're like, "It's fine, dude. I'm gonna cry.
It's bad." I wanted to ask you though, because you said you had another story about working in restaurants, and then we can pivot to because the reason I want to talk about you being a former chef is because of the show you have coming out.
Oh yeah. So okay. I was talking about Kevin Newland. Kevin, dude. All right.
Does he have one of the tattoos?
No. This dude was like.
You said he was a little older.
He's an older guy, man. Just like had like kids my age, like just like. But he was like the funniest guy because I was just like an arrogant shithead.
Yeah.
And he would just crush me all the time, like in a funny way though, because I like.
Well, I could be humbled.
Yeah, well, I would get humbled by him, but I would never. There was certain people that I just like would talk shit to and like mean it, but then I talk shit to everyone and was just like, oh, this is more of a buddy.
Yeah.
So he was one of those where he was like, looking back, I probably annoyed the shit out of him, but he dealt with it well and he just would talk shit back to me.
Yeah.
And I just remember it would be like I'd be closing up, right? And he'd be, so this is after a certain point. I'm still on veg station. He moved to the garde manger station, so instead of working directly beside me, he's working in front of me now.
Yeah.
And so I'm working the station. Mind you, this is like the hottest station in the kitchen. You're like, you have these like basically burners this size. I have 4 burners this exact size, like one here, one there, one there.
Yeah. For those of you listening, Desmond's pointing at the table, so it's probably like it's a big space. Imagine a dining room table of burners.
Yeah, it's like a French top, and they're these hot slabs of metal with a giant burner in the middle. And I would just get my ass kicked on the station all night, and then I'd be going to close up, and I'd wrap up all my stuff. I'd flip it out, and then I'd wrap it, and then I would like talk shit to him, and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, motherfucker," and then he would just like pop like 4 of my raps, dude.
Oh,
like,
really?
It was so funny, like just doing shit like that, and like I remember he was like, I would talk about fucking his daughter, like crazy, saying crazy shit to this dude, but like I'd be like. I would say awful shit to this guy. Like, I mean,
It's a kitchen, yeah.
It's a kitchen, but all right, so don't hate me for any of this, but like, I would say like, I'd be like, oh, how old are your kids, man? He's like, yeah, I got like a daughter. She's like 17. I got a son. He's like 28. I got a whatever. And I'd be like, dude, so as soon as she turns 18, I'm going to fuck her. Like, crazy shit, dude. Like, and just saying like, but like, in a funny way, when he would say the same shit to me though. He'd be like, I can't tell this story, but it's like I mean, I guess I could, but
No, if you don't want to tell it, don't tell it. Because I'd rather you not tell it and then call me versus you calling me in an hour and be like, hey, can you take that story out?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah, I won't tell it,
but it is an interesting thing, like we said, the camaraderie about it and all that kind of stuff. And you kind of you pivoted out of the restaurants. Mm. Which we talked about on your last episode. The last thing you were doing is you were baking and you were kind of still getting a feel for it. And then since then you left that as well. So you're just completely out as far as working in restaurant, like high level restaurants like that. But you've now started a new show called SNCKS.
Yeah.
Which has been the talk of this apartment because it brought 2 things together. I've kind of, obviously, with me doing comedy, Tracy has now gotten more into stand-up. She didn't, I mean, from zero, like she knew nothing really about it. Mm-hmm. And then now being engaged to me, it's like, it's my whole life. So she's learned a lot. But she's also big on like snacks.
Yeah.
And then I was telling her about your show and she's like, that's a great idea. I would bring all my friends if there was food, like prepared by like someone who knows what they're doing at a show. So take us through how this kind of came about.
Dude, so it's interesting. I'm realizing now that I've never done just a comedy show. Mm-hmm. It's only ever been a food and comedy show pop-up. But this has taken many forms. So I used to do pop-ups before I left in Omaha primarily, like just do like, I would go to restaurants, local restaurants, pop up, do my menu, and And then that went on for probably like 2 or 3 years. I had very minimal success with it just because I was like still young and just like learning and didn't
There's
really.
Omaha,
and just like learning, right? A lot of learning curves. And then I moved to New York and then started doing comedy, stopped cooking, started doing comedy. And then I did my first show. It was called Gherkin. And it was named after a buddy that passed away. But that worked at that same kitchen actually.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Nick Carville.
Shout out Nick.
We would call him.
Wait, where did Gherkin come from then?
His name was, we'd call him Gurk. We'd make
Okay.
fun of like a small dick, like
Got it.
Gherkin. And so we just called him Gurk. And then so I did a show. That was it. And then it just kind of has formed into these different things. And so I did like one called Family Meal. That was at,
Which is a great idea. Yeah, because
Yeah.
for those of you who are uninitiated, before service, the back of house will cook for the whole restaurant employees, and it's called Family Meal.
Yeah, and it's usually like a kind of like your one like true morale boost before you hopefully
Get
go
into
into it. Yeah, a very busy service. And
It is kind of that last like.
dude. It's like you hope to
You have
God
like two
Family Meal's
tables in the
good.
restaurant. You're hanging out and you're eating. Sometimes it sucks, and you're like, "Come on,
Dude,
chef.
you're like, dude.
Tilapia, really?
Yeah, dude, you're like red sauce and penne again, bro.
No protein. What
No
are we doing,
dude. Well, that's the thing. So that's what's interesting about New York is New York's Family Meal. They don't fuck around, dude. Like like the restaurant that I worked at for Family Meal, like they took it serious. Where it was like, okay, this like it would be all the sous chefs cook Family Meal basically, or delegate it to like their. So it was like their responsibility. Their floor was responsible for putting up one thing. So like pastry had to put up a Family Meal every day. And then there had to be a chicken, a starch, and a vegetable. Or sorry, not a chicken, a protein, a starch, and a vegetable.
And sometimes they take it real serious.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting because when we do Family Meal on the weekend, when we have a ton of people there, it's always like chicken fingers and fries and like because it's just mass quantities. But when we do Family Meal during the week, when there's only like 3 servers and like 2 bartenders, 3 servers, and then the kitchen staff, sometimes the chef will go like crazy because he's like, all right, I'm only cooking for like 12 people. Let's fucking
I've
do
had
it.
some banger Family
Oh,
Meals,
yeah,
bro.
me
I've had
too.
like paella for Family
Yeah.
Meal. You're like, you sick
And then
fucks,
you
dude.
go in on a Friday and it's like, oh, just sheet pans of tilapia. And you're like, come on,
Yeah.
man. This
Tough.
sucks.
Especially if you don't get to it while it's hot, bro. If you get that cold.
Well, I don't. White fish makes my mouth itchy.
Ugh.
So I'm like, can I have anything, chef?
Dude,
He's like, yeah, have some bread.
Dude, I miss Family Meal. But okay, so the show, I did that show for a little bit mostly at my house, and then I've done one at another place. I guess this is all a long-winded way of saying the show is Snacks. I just switched the venue, so I'm trying to find a new venue now.
I really wanted you to do it at my place, but my gym was like, no.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna find a place to do it, but
I was like, it's a great idea. And she was like, wait, he'd have to use our kitchen? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, and we'd have to move all the stuff around in the downstairs? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, no.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I get it.
Damn it.
Dude, I went to this place over here that you told me for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a shout out. I don't know if we're allowed.
Yeah, Mossy's. Shout out to Mossy's.
Shout out to Mossy's, dude. The sandwich place, it's like very...
And they have that whole back room?
Dude, I mean, it is like pretty... But they have a nice kitchen, and you could rock some serious food. And they're rocking really good food there. Like
and they're not open. They're only open like 3 or 4 days a week.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah, so I got to talk to them.
Yeah,
maybe, cause
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, wide open.
Now we're just getting into the...
I know.
Yeah, we're like, where can we do this, guys?
But because it's such a cool concept because because you still obviously have a passion for cooking. You still have a passion for it. You know, it's something that your grandmother and you kind of really bonded over. And it's one of those things that's always going to be in you. Mm-hmm. And I totally understand because it was like me with football. Like I got to play football at the highest level. And I was like, oh, this is like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like go any further than like this level.
Dude.
Like and I'm not trying to say you are a practice squad guy, but for me I was a practice squad guy on a D1 team.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to be on a Division 1 team, but it was also a small Division 1 team, and I was getting my brains blown in all the time at practice.
Of course,
so it was
man.
kind of a blessing in disguise when I got my last concussion and they're like, "Yeah, you can't play anymore."
Yeah.
I was kind of like, "Okay, good," because I would have kept doing this, like spinning my wheels with this for no reason. I needed someone to step in and be like, stop.
Yes.
So for you, it was kind of the same thing, whereas like you get to New York and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be like these guys working 18 hours a day.
I just don't know if I have it in me, dude.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I don't love it. It's
Yeah.
just that, like, I don't know if the sacrifice is worth the pay. Like, okay, so I saw my life as like, I honestly, I don't think I was aware of the idea of doing better than what I had done, I guess. Meaning like I wasn't on like this cycle of like improvement where I felt like I had to like get better. It was unmotivating for me to see how I was moving around these guys that were so clearly locked in. And so I felt like I was like out of my league, which I'm grateful for because now I'm in a very cool space where I'm like loving what I'm doing. I love my days and everything. But it's I don't know. Like I don't feel that way with comedy. Like there's nothing like I've never even when I'm like was starting out, there was nothing about comedy that was like, even in the dudes that were really good at it were still really kind and cool people for the most part. Yeah. And so it's like,
well, and it's also not, just to interrupt real quick, because I think I have a point to kind of surmise what we're talking about. It's one of those things where if I've gotten 2 DUIs and I thought forever trying to make that funny, and I was like trying to write a joke about it, and it was all long-winded and it didn't work. And then Dusty Slay, when his half hour came out on Netflix a couple years ago, he had the perfect joke and it was like 90 seconds. And I was like, fuck, that's what I should have done. But never in my life, I was just like, oh, he wrote it better than I could think to write it. But never in my life did I think like, oh, but I could never get to that point. Yes. Whereas when I played football, I was like, oh, I'll never be able to run that fast. I'll never be that strong. I'll never be that hand-eye coordinated. Whereas with comedy, it's like, I didn't think about it like that, but I could. I could have thought about it like that, given enough like time and experience and stuff. Yes. Which is the difference, which is the thing that we're talking about before, where it's like, never in my life have I felt out of my depth with comedy. I've watched comics and been like, man, they're crushing. Yeah. But never have I ever thought like, I could never do that.
Yes. That's a very interesting thing where I was working around people that were really good, and it wasn't that I couldn't get up to them. It's that I don't feel like I had enough, let's say, basis or a foundation of why I wanted to do this. Yeah. In order for me, like, cause I was like, well, what's my end goal? Is like maybe own a restaurant one day, and maybe you're like, and then you're like,
the sacrifice that comes with that. You're like, do I really want to do that?
18-hour day, like, man, you're like, dude. And I mean, to be fair, like, it wasn't all that. Like, you do, like, New York restaurants are really good about this, where they're like, they won't, the way that you're paid out isn't the same. Like, you're not allowed to work X amount of hours and not get paid for it, I think. Yeah. Unless it's salary. I don't know. But I just know that, like,
well, even salaried employees in New York, from what I've gathered in restaurants, like, if you work, you still clock in, and if you go over like a certain amount, you still get paid more. Oh, okay. So even if you're on salary, if you're working like 90 hours versus like if you work 50, they're like, yeah, your salary is your salary. But if you work like 90, they're like, okay, now we have to add like an overtime element to it.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, like, it's just a different animal, and I think I'm grateful now looking back of like having gotten the experience, but seeing that there's more to life than that. Yeah. And just like but to go back to like the show is like, this feels like a good middle ground where it's like, I'm cooking what I want to cook. I don't have any pressure of like, I need to make this like other people's food, or like that I've, have to be this like standard. I have to live up to anyone else's standard. And I think that has been the most freeing element to like doing these shows. Yeah. But also like, trying to, I feel like, do them often enough and cook for myself often enough that I feel like I'm still pushing, the kind of, product that I want to put out.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things
still
too,
making
it
like, very nice.
You still want to do something where you're like, oh, this is cool. It's the same thing. Like, I mean, not the same thing, but it is a similar thing where it's like, yeah, I don't know how to kind of compare it, but it is a cool thing that you decided to be like, well, I still love to cook. Mm-hmm. I just want to do it my way. And then you're like, but I also love comedy, so why don't I just combine the two?
Yeah.
So we'll link it in the show notes because that was, like I said, when you came up with that idea and you were telling me about it. Because I think you were telling me about the family meal thing you had done before a while ago. And then when you would, like, because you, like, went all in on snacks. Like, you made the graphics and you did the marketing and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. This is a good idea. Yeah. So we're definitely getting, I wanted to ask you, because I don't know if we touched on this last time you were here, because you do have a story we got to get into about 4th of July and some other shenanigans you've gotten into. But when you were working in restaurants, did you guys do the, like, everyone having beers after service? Because I've worked in restaurants.
Like in the restaurant?
Well, I've worked at restaurants where people get out of control. Like when I was with Outback, like we would all leave Outback, go to a bar, and just get annihilated. Front of house, back of house, everybody. We would just get fucked up. And that was like every night. And then as I got older and I started working in like higher end places, there was a couple people that would go out, but like it wasn't like a thing. Like the guys in the kitchen, like after everything was all done, after like a really busy day, like Valentine's Day, chef would come in and bring like beers for everybody. But it wasn't like a culture of like partying, which I didn't know. Is that me getting older? Is that me getting sober? Is that New York? Because where I'm from in Florida, like didn't matter. After every shift, everyone went out. Managers, everyone went out to a bar near the place and got annihilated. So did you live that similar kind of lifestyle when you were in the kitchen? Or for you, was it always like, no, this is work?
You know what? I would say no. And I don't think it's... I think for the beginning part of it, for the beginning part of my career, I was just underage for so long.
Yeah.
I was from 17 to 21. So I worked with like younger dude, like at that time they were like maybe 23 through 26.
Yeah.
And so I think they would go out a lot and get fucked up. And then like I would see them the next day and they would all be like hungover. Like
dragging ass.
Yeah, just fucked up. I'll never, like one of my sous chefs, he would just come in with like this cup of water every day, just bloodshot eyes, just like, you're like, good morning, Dave. And he's like, like, just like, and he was like the pasta guy. So he would just like be back in the back room, just prepping pasta all fucking day. So I think when I was of age, we would like, I guess, yeah. So there were like staff beers. So like, my chef would, we'd have beers in the restaurant that he ordered just for staff. Yeah. There were PBR,
Goddamn right.
tall boys. Yeah. Tall boy PBRs. And they were $1 a piece. Like he would just charge us what they cost for him. And so, we used to have this like tally system on the board. So we had like a whiteboard here and then a whiteboard for like prep for the restaurant. And so, on the whiteboard to the left, we would just have like everyone's tallies for the week. And there were dudes that would get after it. Yeah? Yeah, there was one of my chefs, John. He was this tall, lanky dude who I worked with at that other restaurant as well. But either way, excuse me. It'd be like a Tuesday, bro, and we'd be like, it was like a slow restaurant, like sometimes. So we'd be like, we'd cook for maybe like, I don't know, 30 people for the night, right? So very slow night. And then we'd be like, because the idea was that the beers were in the basement and they were just like left out at room temperature. And then we would have to go and ice them, right? And so it would be like someone's job to go down and be like, oh, how many beers do you want? How many beers do you want? So we can grab the right amount and get them in ice. And
it was like 19.
Dude, it would be like, there would be nights where it would be like, they're tall boys, mind you. And we'd be like, how many are you going to have? And a normal answer would be like 1. It's like, how many are you going to have? 2? You're like, oh, yeah, rough night. John, how many are you going to have? 6. But John, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, 6.
Like you're like, what the fuck are you?
Go down and get him, Des.
Dude, like, and he would just like, and this was like such a fun kitchen, bro. Like I'll never like these guys were just crazy. Like we all took our concealed carries together. And so if you don't know, it's like the being able to conceal a gun on you
to carry a weapon,
carry a gun. Yeah. So I turned 21, and these guys were older. These guys were like definitely like 30, 31. And we all, they were talking about it because they had guns in the kitchen. Or, like, not in the kitchen, but they had guns. And they were like, oh, we're going to take our concealed carry. And I was like, guys, I'm going to be 21 in, like, 2 weeks.
Just wait for me.
And then it was so funny, bro. There was one service that we had right before. We were, like, all signed up to do the class, right? me, John, Dave. These are both my sous chef and then my chef de cuisine, the two guys that run the restaurant, right? When the executive chef isn't around, and they wait for me. And like I said, I was like arrogant and I was kind of a shithead. And so like there was one service where I'm mouthing off to John Engler, who's like I shouldn't say his first and last, but either way, it's fine. It's fine. Nah, but I haven't talked to these dudes for like years, so it'll probably be fine. They're probably still doing the same thing. But we took our class together, but the shift before, I'm talking shit to him like, all right, John, okay, whatever, like, fuck off, like, basically, like, mouthing off. And then, dude, him and Davey come to pick me up, like, 6 o'clock in the morning. Just, like, it was so weird to be like, we're going to go shoot guns today. Remember how you were talking last night? Like, crazy shit. Like, it was just like, oh, dude, like, very uneasy.
It is one of those weird things, though, because you can forget about it. Because I live in the restaurant. Like, I mean, I only work a few days a week. But when I'm there, I'm, like, in it.
Yeah.
And it is weird sometimes how, like, certain times, because I'm guilty of it, where I'll like pop off at other people, but when they do it to me, I'm like, we gotta clock out and leave here, right? Like, I'm a grown up. Like, I've been arrested too many times to get talked to like this by a fucking bartender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
So it is one of those things where it's like it's all in good fun until it's not.
Yeah.
Hey, Des, you remember all that shit you were talking last night? Let's go shoot some guns.
Dude, it's so funny.
And you're like, oh shit.
And so we eventually did we all got our concealed carries. And so in the same kitchen, right, where the dude's like, he'd be like, yo, Des, go take out the trash before service starts. And I'd be like, all right, yeah, let me just finish this one thing. He'd be like, go take out the trash. And he'd like brandish his gun at me, dude. It was like, but just like in good fun, but it was like still so fun. Like, it's such a funny thing to do. Like, people forget that, like, I mean, that is prime humor to be like, I said go take out the trash. Like, that's so funny.
That God, Parker, friend of the show, you know Parker.
Yeah.
He has that really good joke where he was working at like a supermarket during the pandemic, and someone brandished a gun, and he's like, a gun is just a coupon for everything in the store.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about 4th of July, because we were talking about this at the mic, which is what kind of flagged me to be like, oh, you got to come back on the show.
Yeah.
So you were celebrating America's birthday, and what happened?
America's birthday.
This was this past 4th of July.
This past 4th of July.
So like 3 months ago.
So about 3 months ago, I was a 28-year-old man at the time. I am now 29. I'm growing up.
Happy belated.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're going to be 30.
Hey, why? Don't say shit like that. Come on, man. How old are you?
37.
All right, well, almost dead then. Did that feel good? Did that feel good for you?
Hey, Des, why don't you calm down a little bit?
Yeah. It's like, you see these, dude? I saw a little muscle right there, dude.
Oh, no, I was just pretending like I was brandishing a gun.
Oh, no. But, all right. So, I'm sorry, I lost where we were going.
4th of July.
4th of July.
America.
I haven't.
You were a grown man, and you told me what happened, and I was like, you have to come on the podcast and explain this.
It's so fun. I've been high this whole time, but I haven't felt stoned until just now. I don't. This is all right. Either way, 4th of July.
I also love it because you were like, oh, I only have that one story. Like, you smoke like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm high pretty much 24/7.
But
it's funny to throw up a 3 for that 24/7.
It's so weird to me when people are like, I don't have a lot of stories, and I'm like, you're high all the time. So just talk about your life in the context of being high all the time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that happened a lot for me, dude. It's tough. It's tough being high a lot. But
I just want to, before we get into 4th of July, I do want to ask, because you talked about this in the first episode, but I can't remember. Were you smoking weed when you were working in those kitchens, the high intensity kitchens?
No. Well, okay. So I was, not really. I could tell I was starting to phase out and get burnt out when I would be sober, and then something would happen, and then I would start smoking on my off time.
Okay.
And then when I started smoking on my off time, if I was smoking a lot, that was like a good indicator that I was like kind of burning out.
Okay, you did talk about that.
And so like I would be like getting off from work at like 1 a.m. and be like, oh, I have to find a weed shop. Or like, you know what I mean? Just like,
and that's when you were kind of like, all right, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So what happened? 4th of July, where are you going? Take us through it. You wake up in the morning, everything's fine. It's another day.
It's another day. I think I did yoga that day.
There you go.
I did yoga, meditated a little bit. Had a really good day. I went to a friend's party last minute. Steph Brown, shout out Steph Brown, another comic.
Steph Brown.
Very funny comic. Went to her house.
She comes up a lot.
She's great, dude.
Yeah.
Have you met her?
No, I don't think I've ever met her. But like,
she's great.
Everyone I talk to in our circles is like, "Oh, are you going to Steph's thing?" Or, "Hey, did you do the thing with Steph?" And I'm always like, "I don't know who this person is."
Oh, dude, you got to meet her. She's great. You would love her.
Okay.
She's I think she's from Jersey, or she's either from New York or Jersey, but she's very like Jersey girl, like just very like like one of her jokes is like like Snooki without the bump or something like that. Like one, like but she's like kind of like Dominican, but like light skinned Dominican. I don't know. Either way, Steph Brown, she's a very funny comic. She's great. You got to meet her. I'll make an introduction.
Okay.
We did a lot. You got a lot of shout outs in this episode. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But she throws a party. A lot of comics come. A lot of like pretty much all the Brooklyn comics come. It's in Williamsburg. We're on this rooftop. Dude, a lot of crazy stuff happened at this party. So we're all drinking from like it's probably 3:00 in the afternoon until like nighttime. So it's like maybe past 1 a.m.
Damn.
All the fireworks have gone off. Like we're like hanging out, but we're hanging out at this place all day. There's a hammock. Everyone's day drinking, eating pizza. During this party, I almost fought a guy, I guess.
You didn't talk about this.
I forgot about this part, but he poured like, okay, is
this someone we know?
It is including someone we know, but it is not. So I didn't try and fight someone we know.
Okay.
This has happened a lot with comics, where like comics will do shit to regular people when they're around, and then they'll like, just like, okay, so what actually happened? I got the full story. And I didn't realize this at the time. My friend brought water guns, small little hand pistol water guns, cheap ones. He pretended to do this sneeze thing on someone that wasn't a part of our group, but was hanging out in our party because we're on a community like
rooftop.
So there's
other people up there.
There's few parties happening. I thought this guy was in our party and he was a comic that I didn't know. So I treated him like a comic, kind of, where I'm just like, playfully talking shit with this guy, fuckhead, whatever, like joking around with this guy.
Because you assume he's a comedian.
Because I assume he's a comedian. But at this time, he's kind of doing the same thing where he's like joking, talking shit.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that he started talking to us because one of my other friends did the sneeze thing to him. So like he was in his head pissed off, this guy that I don't know. And so he's talking to us as a group of comics. And we're thinking that he's just giving us shit.
So the friend that we know, the comedian, does a fake sneeze, squirts the water gun on him.
Yes.
And hey, ha, ha, ha.
And then he comes over like, hey, ha, ha, ha.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? And
but
you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes, kind of like in a joking way.
Yeah.
And then my buddy who's sitting down, who wasn't even the guy who squirted the water or anything, he's just sitting there. The guy takes a full drink and pours it on his head.
So you think, just real quick, because this is important for context, you think you're just like kind of talking shit back and forth with this guy. In the moment, you assume he's a comedian.
Yes.
You assume everyone's just kind of like, ha-ha, talking shit.
Yes.
And then he picks up a drink and just dumps it on your friend who had nothing to do with anything.
Had nothing to do with anything. Was just sitting there.
How did you react?
Kind of playfully talking shit in the same way. And then I was like, all right, that was kind of that was kind of extra. But I was like, oh, we're all comic, like, silly fun time, whatever. And then we're
making dum-dums.
Yeah, we're making dum-dums. And so I see my friend get like tight, but he's like a kind of like a awkward guy.
Yeah, most comedians are.
So he's not like if a drink got spilled on me like that, I would be like, all right, we're fighting immediately. Like I'm throwing punches.
If a drink got spilled on me like that, there wouldn't be a all right. There wouldn't be
words after. There would be like immediately step up, and then my friend just kind of like is stunned for a second.
Yeah, because that's a weird move.
And then he's just like, all right, fuck you, I'll kill you, I'll murder you, like just like
starts doing the comic thing.
Yeah, just like fuck you, I'll beat the shit out of you, like, but like saying that he's like he's like kind of like glazed over, like his eyes are, and then the guy like walks away after that. But then we're like,
are you turning to anybody, being like, yo, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, I was literally like, because I saw my friend, and I was like, yo, like, are you good? Like, I was like, whose friend is that? And then he's like, I don't know. I thought you guys knew him. And we went through this whole thing of like, and then
you knew him.
Yeah, and then we see him go to his party, which is like literally like around the corner. It's like not far at all.
Yeah,
it's like
you're on the same roof.
We're on the same roof, And so we just like, I don't know. We like all kind of chirped up, and I was like, all right, so we're gonna go say anything to this guy? Like, he just poured a drink on you. Like, that's not cool. But then, mind you, this is before the like.
What time is this at?
This is it's still light out, so it's probably like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
so everyone's been drinking for a few hours, but you're not like fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty toasted. I was like just drunk enough to want to fight someone.
Yeah.
But he goes, and so we go to talk shit to this guy after he pours a drink, and then his friend comes up and is like, "Hey man, like I see, like he's like I kind of saw what happened from afar," and I was like, he's got to talk to us about it. Like, that's not cool. Like, I'll fucking hurt this guy." And then he's like,
that jujitsu's coming out of you.
Yeah. Well, he's like, his friend's like holding his other friend is like holding him back. And then this guy starts talking to us, and he's super cool. And he's just like, he's like, hey, he's not really my friend either. He's kind of a friend of a friend. He does this a lot though. Like, he's the kind of the guy for this. And he's like, I don't really hang around this guy, but he's like my friend's friend. I'm just like, he's like, I just don't want any drama on the rooftop. Like, whatever.
Because that's where they live. So it's like very much like, hey, let's all chill out.
Yeah. And so nothing ended up happening.
So you ended up just walking away?
Yeah, we ended up just like kind of having
has prevailed.
But it was intense for a while because like,
how much longer were they on the roof for? That group?
The whole night we were.
Really?
Yeah, we were. So it was
every
still
once
like,
in a while you look up and you're like, "Fuck those motherfuckers."
Yeah, we're like still like, I hope he comes back around and
please come over here.
And then, but
shoot
then
the leg so fast you don't even know what happened.
Dude, it was so funny.
Like guillotine choke.
And it was kind of like I was like, I fucking jujitsu this dude. I was like, I'm gonna
wrist punch the shit out of you.
Yeah, dude. What is that from?
You told me that story about getting wrist punched.
Wrist punch?
Yeah, or throat punch or whatever it is, where the guy like took your wrist or your hand and punched you in the face.
An Ezekiel choke.
Yeah.
I was like, a wrist punch. I was like, what
I couldn't remember what it was called.
It's where you use your fist to choke someone.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So but the big thing that happened,
4th of July. So all of this drama goes down, right? Drugs are flowing around at this party.
Of course.
A lot of drinking.
Compton, Brooklyn.
Yeah. We're doing, everyone's drug of choice is ketamine, I guess.
Yeah, that's a new thing. I don't know.
I tried it that night.
Yeah, you did.
I tried it that night, and
big fan.
No, I pissed myself.
Yeah.
I peed
Bury
everywhere.
the lead. So you tried ketamine.
I tried ketamine.
Take us through what happened.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, cause there was a few things going in my mind. There's a few things going in my mind of like,
how does it even get brought up? Because I mean, we're all, we like to party. Before I got sober, I would try like anything that was presented. But
that's
just kind of how everyone's passing around. You're like, hey, what's that? And they're like ketamine. You're like, I want some.
Yeah, it was. Everyone was like, they were like, oh, I'm gonna go do some ketamine, and I was like, oh, I've never tried it. He was like, oh, do you want to try it? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, why not?
And I just like, I don't know that anything like it. I didn't feel super high. This is the same way I felt with like cocaine, where like, I see the effects a little bit, but I don't see like, for cocaine specifically, I see what it does.
Yeah.
I see that it's like a stepping stone for doing more of drinking or like more dancing, more whatever. It's a stepping stone for other activities throughout the night. Whereas ketamine, I was like, I am worse at conversation now, and I don't like. I'm just.
You take ketamine, you're kind of like done. So
you're like I kind of want to sit down.
It kind of ends the party. Why would we do this?
It's like kind of like a zen-y, like you want to like sit down and like, I don't know, I was like tired a little bit.
Just chill.
And I was like, yeah,
but I was a tranquilizer.
And so I fucking like, I was like, I have to pee really bad. And then I did ketamine and sat down for a little bit. And then I went to go to the restroom and I was like, oh, I'm peeing. Oh shit, I'm peeing. And then it was like, and it was in the elevator where I really started to pee.
Going down to
the friend's apartment that has the bathroom. And so
you get in the elevator and you're like, oh no.
You're like, oh shit. And so I just started peeing, not like freely, but like it was like I have to let out a little bit or it's all like it's just gonna shoot out,
Yeah.
And so I'm just like quiet.
Is anyone in there with you?
No one's in there with me. I didn't see anyone on the way to the apartment. I go to the apartment to use the restroom. Someone's in the restroom. Okay. And so I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want them to see that I've pissed myself.
Yeah.
But I need to get in there and first use all of the piss But then second,
Like finish going to the bathroom and then change.
But I was like, fuck, I left my bag on the rooftop. So
Disaster.
Worst case scenario, I was like, I don't know how. I was like, I'm gonna have to leave. I was like, I'm gonna have to leave and just like
Be the guy on the train who smells like piss.
and have piss everywhere.
And just call someone and be like, hey, I forgot my bag.
And this is still kind of light outside. This is before
It's like
fireworks started. This is
7:30,
like
yeah.
7:30, maybe 8. And so I eventually David Decaro, another comic, comes out of the restroom, and I'm like, oh man, I was like kind of like perfect scenario where like I'm sitting down, so I'm just like kind of like hiding the piss, like, oh, what's up, dude? Are you having a good time? Like doing one of these moves.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, I'm doing good. And then he goes up, and he can see that I'm fucked up because I'm like kind of like slurring my words and just like
Rocking, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, how are you doing, man? Are you good? And I was like, man, can you do me a huge favor, actually? I was like, I'm kind of fucked up. Can you just grab my bag on the rooftop and bring it down? And he's like, yeah, man, sure. Whatever you need, I got you, buddy. Goes to grab my bag. I go to the bathroom, take a piss. I'm in the bathroom, piss shorts. He comes in, knocks on the bathroom, hands me my bag, doesn't look at me, doesn't do anything. I go in.
David is clutch.
David is clutch, bro. And I haven't talked to him afterwards, but I want to know if he knew that I pissed myself.
Because you don't know, because you were kind of out of it. So
I was kind of out of it, and I was kind of like, I felt like I was hiding it well, where I was just
we always think that when we're fucked up.
Yeah, true.
Dude, if I had a nickel for every time I was like, man, I handled that great. And then someone's like, man, you were really fucked up last night.
Same.
I'm like, God damn it.
This is the same thing with this is the other story, but the first wedding I went to with an open bar.
Yeah.
I got so trashed at the night. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to like start drinking like kind of
So you thought because it was an open bar wedding, you're just supposed to let it rip.
Just let it rip, dude. So it's like, I'm telling you, the wedding starts at like 2:00. I'm drunk by 3:00.
Whose wedding was this?
This was
a friend or a relative?
Yes, it was. It was Dan Watts.
You don't have to name everybody.
I am kind of like a name guy, but it is. He's a friend that was a chef. Well, not really him so much. He was my chef's friend. And then separately, I knew his wife through my ex-girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
So
you get invited to this wedding, and then they're like, oh, it's open bar. And you're like, what's that mean? Oh, you can just drink as much as you want. And you go, challenge accepted.
Yeah. I was drinking old fashions like a motherfucker,
bro.
Dude. I had.
So you black out at a wedding before it even starts.
No, I wouldn't say I was blacked out, but I was definitely drunk by the time. Well, actually, okay. So
because the wedding happens, and then you go to the open bar.
And then we go to the open bar. Yeah. So by the time I want to say
first dance.
Food comes out. We're get done eating. I'm like drunk by the time we're like done drinking food, dancing at the place.
Yeah.
So we danced at the place for like the wedding goes till like
10, 11?
No, it was like because they did a party bus thing.
Okay.
So they had the place for probably from like 2 to 7 or 8. I would say definitely by the time
by
the food by the food I was like pretty fucked up. Just drinking old fashions. And then we get on the party bus. I'm having the most fun on this party bus. I'm fucked up. I'm so drunk. I'm the most charismatic person I've ever been. I'm having a blast. People love me. People are cheering for me. I'm dancing. I'm grinding on dudes like in a funny way. Like,
having a good time.
Just being a funny guy, right?
Yeah.
I do. There was another, and so mind you, this is all the chefs in Nebraska, all the chefs that work at all the nicest
the fancy
restaurants.
places. Yeah.
So we're all a community. There are people that work in other kitchens that I've heard of and I've met and I've been like fans of.
That is a cool thing. Yeah.
There was another chef that owned a restaurant in downtown Omaha called Le Bouillon, and he's like a dude that I've always seen. I've seen videos of him. He's a very smart guy, very intelligent. I remember dropping ass on this dude, and it was the funniest thing of all time. Where I just like did this like stripper pole thing, and then like,
dude, that's like when I met Chef Daniel. Like I didn't obviously it wasn't on a party bus, and I was sober because it was in New York. But like he was working with our former our former executive chef. Went to go work for him. So like one day, like they all came in. And I was like, dude, I've seen you on like TV and movies, and like you're one of the most renowned chefs in the world. That's what I thought in my head, but it's just like it's very incestuous. Like everyone knows each other and all that kind of stuff. So it is kind of cool to be like, this guy's like a really big time chef.
Yeah.
You're just hanging out.
And it was like, but in such a local way though.
Yeah.
So it was
for
like,
you, it's super cool because it's like right there.
yeah, for me, I was like, he's like, I'm a fan of the work that he's done for the Omaha scene.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, I talked to him maybe like 1 or 2 times, but never like in full length.
And now you're just dropping it.
And so I'm like so fucked up. And then we get off the party bus. Some people drove because I don't think everyone fit or whatever. And so we get off the party bus. There's a dude that I'm working with that was a server, and he offers me his dab pen. And I ripped the dab pen, and then I'm telling you, I got off the bus. I went inside the bar for 2 minutes. Got off the bus, ripped the dab pen first thing, went in the bar for about 2 minutes, came out. And do you know where those like trash cans that have like the cigarette things on the top?
Yeah.
I started throwing up in the top of that. In the top, not in the trash can part.
The top part.
The ashtray.
The ashtray part.
And I'm telling you that and I can't even stress the time, Brennan. Like I would say 3 minutes after I get off being the life of the party on this party bus. Like just like
Everyone's
dancing.
like, man, Dez is the fucking man. And then you're
People,
like,
yes, dude. Like, they're like, people are throwing me I'm fucking shotgunning beers. John Seymour, like, just these, like, all of the, literally, like, the guys that I've ever been a fan of in the Omaha cooking scene are all on this party bus.
and they're like, Dez.
Yes, dude.
Dez,
And it was like,
Dez.
fucking, we're all having a good time. And then
3 minutes, smash cut, 3 minutes later.
3 minutes. Ugh, like, and they were like, who is that? And they were like, oh, he was so fun. Like, I'm like listening to all these people.
We thought he was just cool. He was so fucked up.
Oh, dude. And then, okay, so funniest part, they call me an Uber to go home. I'm so fucked up. My ex is guiding me in this Uber. I'm literally blackout. Like, so don't even remember
Is
anything.
she with you? Your ex?
At the time, we were
Yeah, you were. She was the
kind
friend
of
the
together.
Thing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying physically, she's there with you.
Physically
Okay.
she's there. And so we get in this Uber, and I'm like windows down, like I've already thrown up. I'm feeling like shit. I'm like hazing in and out, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to throw up again. So I tell the guy, I was like, hey man, I have to throw up. I'm not gonna throw up in your car. Don't worry about it. I was like, I'm sorry. I know this sucks, but mind you, I'm fucked up completely. Telling him all of these things. I open his door. I fucking throw up everywhere on the ground. But I'm like certain I didn't get anywhere in his car. I was like, I purposely like leaned out of the car.
Like fell out of the car almost to throw up.
To throw up. And this is at a stoplight. Get back in his car. Do it like 2 more times. Get back in his car. We go home. The next day, I don't even remember getting home really. I don't remember going to bed. But I just know that I was fucked up. And I wake up the next day, look at my account. Uber charged me like $200.
Yeah, it's a $200 cleaning fee. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Hey man, that's bullshit. That driver fucking scammed me."
Yeah, he tagged you because he knew you were fucked up, and you would probably wake up the next day and be like, "Fuck, I threw up in that guy's car."
Yeah, so I was like, total bullshit. So I immediately popped off on the Uber thing. I was like, "Hey, no. I made sure I didn't throw up in his car. I
was completely fucked up, but I made sure to get out of his car."
Yeah, I was like, I know I was fucked up. And then Uber just sends me back a picture of all of the throw up in his car. That's all they sent back, dude.
That was very much a situation where like I handled that perfect, and they're like, "No, you didn't.
Yeah,
no, you
dude.
didn't."
So funny, dude. I'm telling you, and mind you, bro, I'm talking about in the cup holder in the back seat,
man.
doggy. In the door, bro, the door cup holder. There's oh my god, it was like.
So you in your mind were like, "I fucking crushed that."
I crushed that, dude. I was like, dude, the whole time I was literally in my head like, fucking nailed. Like I was like,
It's so funny how we can misremember that stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many things in my life where I'm like, no, this is how it went down, and then I'll talk to like my sisters, and they're like, no, it went down like you're so wrong. And I'm like, oh, I've remembered it that way my whole life.
It's like, well, it's a weird thing that our brains do to like make us feel safe about things. I think maybe.
I heard somewhere sometime that someone, it was like a professor or somebody was talking about trauma response, and they were like, the things you remember as the most traumatic events in your life probably weren't nearly as bad as you remember them, but to that same degree, the things you remember as the best times in your life probably weren't that great. It's like a weird trauma response that the brain has, because like when I think about my ex-fiance, I'm always like, oh, it was perfect. And I remember this was a long time ago, but like a year or two after we broke up, I remember talking to her and she was like, we had like one good year and then you started drinking again. And then for 3 years, it was pretty miserable. But I remembered it in my brain as like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then I've also had really shitty things happen in my life where I'm like, that was the worst thing in my life. But then again, I'll talk to like people in my family like, it wasn't that bad. Like you're kind of being a bitch.
Interesting.
So for you, you were like, I totally crushed it. I handled that great.
Yeah.
I opened the door. I threw up right outside. Your brain was like,
I did
good for
well.
you, bro.
Yeah. And then, dude,
And then Uber's like, no, actually.
it was so funny. There were, because I'll never forget.
Just a picture. No words.
Just
no
a
nothing.
picture. Just be like, boop. Like, I was like, because I popped off like, hey, I know I didn't throw up in this dude's car. Like, I wish I still had like my
I
same
remember
account.
purposely opening the fucking door.
Dude, it was crazy. And just a picture back of just gnarly,
vomit.
bro.
Dude, this was a blast, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
dude.
on.
Thank you.
Plug everything one more time. Let everybody know.
Instagram at Dezzy the artist, DEZY_ the artist. I run a few weekly mics, one at New York Comedy Club.
Great mic.
What's that?
That's a great mic.
Yes, the Secret Mic on Instagram at the Secret Mic, and then Snacks at Snacks Comedy, SNCKS, no A _ comedy.
Beautiful.
That's where you can find me. I'm doing shows and stuff all the time.
Love it.
Catch me at your other
Love it,
local
dude.
comedy clubs. Cheers, dude. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T. Comedy on all social media, BrennanTComedy.com. I got shows coming up in New York. I'll be in Denver the 26th and 27th. And then in October, we're doing Friends of the Pod comedy show at Grove 34. Caitlin Palufo will headline that, so come check that out. We'll talk to y'all next week.